My name is Pamela Godwin. I'm currently president of Change Partners Incorporated, formerly president of GMAC Insurance Agency Division. I absolutely did know what I wanted to do. I wanted to be an interpreter for the United Nations. Of course, that's not what I did. Well, I graduated from college at a time when girls were encouraged to go into nursing or teaching, so they would have something to fall back on. Whereas guys were encouraged to do something where they could get ahead. So I decided to become a teacher. I went to Penn State and I majored in French Lit. So I loved teaching. It was a wonderful experience, but I had the urge to go into business pretty quickly after just 3 years. Just intuitively, I wanted to go into the business world. So I gave my school district notice and literally hit the ground to look for a job in the business world. There was an insurance company that was really just looking for college graduates who could communicate well. Well, I felt pretty good about that because I could communicate in 2 languages. So I figured I could communicate in 1 language pretty well. I started as an underwriter, which is really the analysis of risk in accordance with the underwriting guidelines of the company. And then I had a series of both staff and line jobs in the operating areas, in the marketing areas, and also in the claims and benefits areas. So I wound up being senior vice president of claims of the first company that I worked for after 14 years. But then I was recruited to another company to head up strategic planning. I love strategic planning, and although it is a staff position, I had a lot of line experience, so I understood the essentials, the essence of the business, and could create strategy that was profitable. After that position, I then went back into the line organization and wound up being president of that insurance company. Along the way, I also had a very good mentor who happened to be a man who took an interest in my career and felt actually that I could do more than I thought I could do. He was very demanding, and he was very blunt in his feedback to me. And I learned to consider that a gift as well. I was in a staff meeting with all men officers who were senior to me at the time, and as we were leaving, my boss, who looking back I know to be a mentor, told me that I should have put something on the table that I didn't put out there on the table. And I was really burned at the time because none of the guys put that on the table either. So I went to him and I said, "Why do you expect me to do things that you don't expect those guys to do?" And he said, well, I think you're the one that has the potential to run a company someday. I don't think those guys do. So my anger turned immediately to, so tell me what else I'm doing wrong. Help me. So I think that was a pivotal moment in my career where I learned the value of feedback, no matter how it's delivered. As I say to clients today, the data is out there. We might as well have it too. I felt that I needed a college degree to accomplish what I did. A college degree, frankly, no matter what the major is, demands that you learn how to communicate with many, many different audiences. It also demands that you learn how to analyze situations and to solve problems. And in my view, business is all about solving problems and communicating to many different stakeholders. I don't think a graduate degree is needed in business. I do think continuous learning is needed. I think a graduate degree is very helpful in business. It ceases to be helpful once you stop learning because the landscape and the environment change constantly. So the bottom line is start learning now, in my view, and continue learning literally every day of your life. Well, I think, frankly, for business, you need to understand economics. It's good to be exposed to business law. You need to be able to write and to speak in ways that many, many different audiences can understand. But even if you choose to major in something other than business, as long as you focus on how you can learn to be a better communicator, how you can learn to analyze, I honestly think any major can lead you into a business career. I also believe very strongly in a values-driven approach. I believe that every business needs to operate with integrity, and I have 3 values as leader of my firm that I hold to very strongly, and they are safety. If clients feel safe with us, trust, then they will trust us, and creativity. If clients feel safe, if they trust, we can solve anything together creatively. You know, it's hard to look back and say that I would have done anything differently. I cherished my teaching experience, and so I stay involved in education from a not-for-profit standpoint. I loved my corporate career, and I had many opportunities that I'm very grateful for. And frankly, I've never been happier in my life doing what I'm doing now. So it's a journey. One thing leads to another, and it's never your final chapter.